Bro, I am sick to death of this Jose Aldo conversation that's going on. Like, people still think that he's the GOAT featherweight, which is ridiculous. But he's not even the second best featherweight. I know you might have read that title and thought, oh, he's not even the second best because he's the first. No, he's not the second best featherweight because he's actually the third best featherweight. He's not even the second best. There's even an argument that he's not even the third. Bro, so when he fought Conor, right, everybody knows what happened. He got fucking chinned. Conor dismembered him mentally, physically. He got into his head, all that shit, right? Do you know how old Jose Aldo was? I'll let you think about it for a second. He was 29. 29 years old. That's like, a lot of fighters, you don't even see them start to enter their prime until they're older than 29. He'd been on his run, like he was so far ahead of the game, yeah, that he'd been on that crazy streak, all that sort of shit. By the time he lost the belt, he was 29. And then people say, oh, he was out of his prime. What in fuck's name are you talking about, bro? He was out of his prime at 29 years old. Like, no, bro. I'll get into it a little bit later, but I will disprove that. He was not out of his prime at 29. Just from like a physicality standpoint, you're not even in your prime until you're in your 30s. Like around 32, if you're firing on all cylinders, around 32 will be your absolute peak, and you can ride that out until you're like 35. And in those lower weight classes, you can ride it out till you're like 35. Volk and Pantoja have broken that 35 curse, so now that's kind of beginning to extend to 36 with this new generation of fighters. In the higher weight divisions, you'll see it longer, like, Pereira's like 38 and he's killing it, but that's the heavier weight divisions. That doesn't matter. So anyway, back to the topic. He lost to Conor, 29 years old. Okay, cool. That doesn't instantly make Conor the best featherweight, yeah? He then went on to lose to Max Holloway twice. How old was he when he lost to Max? I'll give you another second to think about it. He was 30, bro. He was 30 and he got stopped by Max. Max beat him twice at the age of 30. So immediately he was the first featherweight champion because he had the belt in another organization and it merged into the UFC. So he became the UFC champ by default. And all of his title defenses got carried over and counted as UFC title defenses, I believe. Don't quote me on that unless I'm right. Then you can quote me on that. But he lost to Max twice. So already he's lost to Conor, who was the second champ. He's lost to Max, who was the third champ. And he lost to Max twice. Then who comes along? Volkanovski. Volkanovski 30-27's him and held him to, I think it was under 50 strikes, 60 strikes across all 3 rounds. Nobody had ever done that before, bro. Then you know what Volk does? He goes and beats Max Holloway 3 times. The same Max Holloway that beat Jose Aldo twice. So if you think about it in a lineal fashion, he lost to Max twice, lost to Volk once, so that's 3 total losses. Volk then goes on to beat Max 3 times. That's another 3 losses if you want to talk about it from a lineal point of view. Oh, Volk beat Max, Max beat Aldo. If those losses carry down, that's technically 6 times that he was beaten. I know that's a wild take. That's a wild take. 6 times he was beaten. He didn't get beaten 6 times, but he lost 3 times, and then Volk went on to beat Max 3 times. So I hope that makes sense. I know you're not a complete dumbass. You kind of see what I'm saying. That's if you're glazing. If you're an Aldo hater glazer, you can make that argument. And then people still want to say, oh, he's the GOAT. He's got the most title defenses. Bro, he had title defenses when it wasn't even the UFC, man. What are you talking about? And even then, okay, yep, cool, you got that. All right. If you want to look at it but from pure numbers, fine. if you want to look at it from the point of Max Holloway actually stopped him, like, oh, bro, you still got people in comments saying he's the fucking GOAT. Bro, he's not the GOAT. The clear GOAT is Volkanovski, yeah? But, bro, I think you can't even really say he's the second best GOAT. The second best GOAT. There's only one GOAT. You can't even say he's the second best of all time in that division. Because that's Max. Because Max beat him twice and then Jose lost to every other champion. And then if you really want to get into the nitty gritty, people want to say there's an argument that featherweight Conor is better than Aldo because of how he got rid of him in 15 seconds? Bro, it is fucking insane that people still talk about this dude like he's the featherweight GOAT. And then Ilya's come along. What did Ilya do at featherweight? First ever person to knock out Max Holloway, the first ever person to crack the chin. And he beat Volkanovski, knocked him out. So there's an argument there as well that he's actually better than Jose Aldo. Oh, nah, the title defenses, bro. Like, man, we are so far into the sport and so beyond this where, like, people are beginning to catch on that the quality of your wins matters more than the number of title defenses that you had. And heaps of his defenses weren't even true UFC defenses. They were defenses in this other organization. And he wasn't washed because after he lost to Volk, he said, fuck it. I'm out of this division. I'm not the GOAT anymore. These dudes are caught up with me. Fuck it. I need to move. I need to do something, right? He then moves down. He loses a split decision to Marlon Moraes. Split decision. He then loses to Peter Yan. Now, he lost both of these fights. That Peter Yan one was competitive, and we know how good Peter... We later then went on to see how great Peter Yan actually is. You can make an argument. He's for sure top 5 bantamweight all time. You can make an argument top 3. You could actually make an argument he's the GOAT. Nah, he's not the GOAT, no, based on what Moraes doing. But he lost a very close split decision to Marlon Moraes. Lost to Peter Yan. That's an okay loss. Peter Yan beats you. There's nothing to be ashamed of. He then goes on a 3-fight winning streak at bantamweight. He beat Chito Vera, Pedro Munoz, and Rob Font. And then who put it into that streak? Merab. He came across Merab, bro. Like, obviously, Merab, bantamweight GOAT. He's becoming close to, like, I think you can make an argument he's top 5 all time in the sport right now. If he goes on and beats Peter Yan again, I don't know, bro. We need to start having some conversations. Some conversations need to be made in the boardroom, in the MMA GOAT tier list boardroom. That's all I got to say. But yeah, people make this argument, oh, he was out of his prime. He was out of his prime, bro, when Conor knocked him out. No, he wasn't, bro. Just everybody else caught up to him. Or you can cut it 2 ways. Everyone caught up to him, or the people that he was beating weren't really worth shit. All those WEC title fights, the people he was fighting before Conor, like who did he beat? I know he beat Chad Mendes. Conor got rid of him as well. Like, Conor was just that dude at the time. And I think the psychological warfare really, really got to him and it broke him. But from like a physicality point of view, his skill set, all that sort of shit, he was still there. I think that 3-fight win streak at bantamweight proves it. It proves that he wasn't washed. If he was washed, he would have dropped down and gone on like a Tyron Woodley, like disastrous. That is somebody who's out of their prime. Was Tyron Woodley, and he just went on that loss streak, the Tony Ferguson loss streak. Oh my God, bro, that was hard to watch. Just shit like that, bro. That is when you're out of your prime. You don't drop down a weight division and then go on a 3-fight win streak, get that win streak cracked by the greatest bantamweight of all time, and one of those losses is a split decision, and then the other one is Peter Yan, who's like a top 3 bantamweight of all time. Oh, all right, I'm done with this conversation. You know, I'm sick of this. I'm not going to be rage baited anymore. I've had enough. Let me know your thoughts. I'm done, bro. I'm done. Peace. But also, just at the end, I just wanted to say I'm not actually a Jose Aldo hater. I actually quite like him. I'm just sick of these people. Like, oh, even though I like him, bro, I can always draw a line and be like, okay, yeah, like he's not the GOAT. These people who are fucking saying that shit are just blinded by like their own nostalgia. Not nostalgia, but they're just so fucking tunnel vision, bro. Get the fuck out of here, man. I'm going to a Yeet concert tonight, bro. Let's fucking get it.